On the morning of June 25, 2009, a man was dying alone in a bedroom in Los Angeles. His doctor was in the house, but his doctor was on the phone, not calling for help, making personal calls, sending emails, talking to his girlfriend. 47 minutes on the phone, while the most famous man alive lay unconscious under a surgical anesthetic with no monitoring equipment in a rented mansion being charged to a concert promoter's tab. And when the ambulance finally came, the doctor never told them what drug he'd given. He never told the paramedics. He never told the ER doctors. He never volunteered it. Not once. The coroner ruled it a homicide. The jury called it manslaughter. His family called it murder. And Michael Jackson himself spent the last 4 years of his life telling everyone around him that someone was going to kill him. He named names. He named specific people. His own son testified to this under oath. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the documented, court-verified, sworn testimony record of what really happened in the secret life of Michael Jackson. To understand how Michael Jackson ended up dying in a bedroom with a surgical anesthetic dripping into his arm, you have to understand where his story really starts to break. Not 2009. Not even 2005. It starts in 1984. 27th, 1984. Michael Jackson is filming a Pepsi commercial at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. On the sixth take, pyrotechnics ignite too close to his head. His hair catches fire. He's treated for second-degree burns. He's prescribed opioid painkillers. And nearly every single person close to him would later point to that moment as the beginning of the pharmaceutical nightmare that followed him for the rest of his life. By 1993, Elizabeth Taylor had to personally lead an intervention. He entered rehab. He completed it. The dependency retreated but never disappeared. And by the mid-90s, during the History World Tour, Jackson had found a new drug. One that made everything else look minor. It was called propofol, a surgical anesthetic. The drug they used to put you under for open-heart surgery. He called it his milk. Because it's white. Because it gave him the only thing he couldn't find anywhere else: unconsciousness. Not sleep. Not rest. Just nothing. Because Michael Jackson's insomnia by this point was so catastrophic, so total, that clinical doses of multiple tranquilizers could not bring him down. An expert later testified that in the weeks before his death, Jackson may have gone 60 consecutive days without a single REM sleep cycle. His brain was being slowly destroyed. Not by drugs but by the absence of the one thing the human body cannot survive without. June 13, 2005. A California jury finds Michael Jackson not guilty on all 14 counts. And he walks out of the courthouse the most famous acquittal of his generation. He should have been celebrating. Instead, according to people who were with him that day, he was hollowed out. He had entered that courtroom weighing less than 120 pounds. Unable to eat. Unable to sleep. Every day of the 5-month trial broadcast to every television screen on Earth. His attorney told him one thing: leave Neverland. Never go back. Because the prosecutors who had spent years trying to destroy him were still out there. And if he stayed, they'd find another reason. And the very next day after his acquittal, Deepak Chopra came to see him. Jackson asked Chopra for a prescription for OxyContin. Chopra refused. And that was the last time he ever saw Michael Jackson. Within 48 hours, Jackson was on a plane. Destination: Bahrain. The Kingdom of Bahrain. A tiny island nation off the coast of Saudi Arabia. Personal guest of Sheikh Abdullah, son of the King of Bahrain, who had paid Jackson's remaining legal fees from the trial. And for a brief window it seemed like Michael Jackson might actually be okay. People who were there described him as finally resting, finally eating, finally laughing. No paparazzi. No press conferences. No courtrooms. Just a man in a white robe living in a villa with his 3 children, and for the first time in years apparently at peace. But it didn't last. Because nothing ever did. Sheikh Abdullah had financed Jackson's stay in exchange for music: a planned album, a Broadway musical, an autobiography. Jackson delivered almost none of it. By May 2006, the Sheikh sued Jackson for $7 million. The relationship dissolved. And Michael Jackson was on a plane again. Nowhere to go. $500 million in debt. And still unable to sleep. Conrad Robert Murray. Born February 19, 1953. Granada. Cardiologist. Las Vegas. On paper a doctor. On paper. What a $10 background search would have revealed: over $4,000 in court judgments. A 2002 bankruptcy. A defaulted $1.66 million mortgage. Child support obligations to children by multiple women. A Las Vegas clinic on the verge of eviction. Internal medicine certification. Lapsed. No training in anesthesiology. No training in sleep medicine. Suspended from hospitals 3 times. No background check was conducted. Not by AEG Live, the billion-dollar concert promoter paying his salary. Not by anyone. A $10 search. That's all it would have taken. Murray had first met Jackson in 2006 when he treated Jackson's daughter Paris when she fell ill. And by early 2009 Jackson was preparing for the biggest comeback of his career. 50 concerts in London. This is it. He insisted on Murray as his personal physician. AEG agreed to pay Murray $150,000 per month. Murray had initially asked for $5 million a year. Think about that, a man who couldn't pay his mortgage, who had filed for bankruptcy, who had a clinic being evicted, was now negotiating his salary to keep the most famous entertainer on earth alive. And there was one more detail in that contract that nobody talked about enough. AEG had the right to terminate the agreement if the concerts were postponed or cancelled. The doctor's income depended on his patient performing. So if Jackson was too sick to go on, Murray lost everything. That's not a medical arrangement. That's a conflict of interest so obvious that multiple legal experts later called it egregious. And Murray knew it. And AEG knew it. And nobody changed it. Rehearsals for this as it began in spring 2009 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And on good days everyone who was there said the same thing. You could still see it. The greatest performer alive still there inside the body. The movement, the instinct, the electricity. On bad days he was incoherent. Cold to the touch in a warm room. Trembling. Unable to remember choreography he had performed thousands of times. And losing weight constantly. Visibly, rapidly disappearing. June 19, 2009. 6 days before his death. The show's director, Kenny Ortega, sent an email to AEG CEO Randy Phillips. Subject line, "Trouble at the front." He described finding Jackson lost and incoherent. Cold to the touch. Trembling. Unable to perform. Ortega had wrapped him in blankets and tried to feed him. He wrote, "There are strong signs of paranoia, anxiety, and obsessive-like behavior." He recommended a top psychiatrist. Immediately. One of the show's associate producers was more direct. She told colleagues, "Michael is dying. He needs to be put in a hospital." Randy Phillips responded to Ortega's email with one instruction. Do not become an amateur psychiatrist or physician. Defer to Dr. Murray. 6 days later Michael Jackson was dead. 4 weeks, everyone around Michael Jackson could see something was terribly wrong. Emails were sent. Warnings were ignored. And just 6 days later, he was dead. But what actually happened during Michael Jackson's final hours? Why did his doctor spend 47 minutes on the phone while Michael lay unconscious? Why wasn't 911 called immediately? And why did Michael spend years saying someone was going to kill him? That's where the story gets even darker. Follow this page and watch part 2.